It's a scary picture. Midwest farming turmoil being compared to the 2008 housing crisis. We're still getting flooding in the Midwest, and it's a disaster. Record flooding, record rain, record agricultural losses. This is by Zero Hedge, Tyler Durden. The wettest year in memory continues to decimate the corn crops across the Midwest, according to Bloomberg. It's not just farmers that are bearing the brunt of the flooding, it's the entire agricultural economy. Those that provide supplies like seeds, fertilizer, equipment, and services are also struggling. For example, BBG reports that at Burroughs Seed in Ironsville, Illinois, employees spend as much time trying to lift farmers' spirits as they do selling to them. Todd Burns, owner, says, "If we experience a year like this, I don't remember it. When the farm economy is tough, it's going to be tough for all the suppliers." Other Illinois and seed business owners echo those sentiments. For instance, business owner Kurt Barman said that he's being inundated with returns. Quote, "All of the seeds are coming back, so that's lost revenue for us," end quote. Now growers don't know whether to trade up to newer technology to protect crops and business or use prior versions. Mark Patrick, Chief Financial Officer of agrochemical giant Syngenta AG, said, "Couple that with less acres, you've got a very acute pressure going on at the moment." Those in the fertilizer business have seen urea premiums running at more than double normal levels. The reason for the surge is due to the Mississippi being closed and the normal flow of crop nutrient shipments being disrupted. It's now being postulated that even the coming $28 billion in tariff aid may not be enough to rescue the Midwest from compounding negative catalysts. Agricultural credit conditions also steadily deteriorated, according to the Kansas City Fed Reserve and a Purdue University CME Group Index. Quote, "Farmer sentiment has plunged to levels not seen since October 2016, the month before Donald Trump's election victory," end quote. Net farm income last year in at about half of the $123 billion earned in 2013. Kurt Hudnut, head of North American Rural Banking for Rural Bank, said, "If you want to liken it to the 2008 recession from a housing perspective, it's similar to that, and it's really vulnerable to any disruptions," end quote. Sean Kelly, mayor of Mississippi Valley, Iowa, said, "The weather is casting a shadow over the corn-driven local community, where average incomes are already well below the national average. Anytime you have a big economy impact from agriculture like where people can't get their crops in, there's going to be less money for people to spend." Hamburg, Iowa, was inundated with flooding from the Mississippi and the Missouri River, has had to take on debt to recover and reconnect water and gas supplies to homes. This according to Mayor Kathy Crane, and she said, "We used to have a really healthy bottom line. As of 2 months ago, we've spent it all, and we're now living on and operating on borrowed dollars," end quote. There are some limited silver linings. Corn futures have rallied about 30% since early May, which means that those who are able to grow will get higher prices, and worries of a poor corn crop have prompted ethanol plants and animal feeders to bid more aggressively for suppliers left over from last year. Philip Luce, a grain merchandising specialist at adversary service White Commercial Corps in Stuart, Florida, said, "In terms of the effect on the old crop, both price and basis, it's been a godsend. Unfortunately, usually you get these prices when there's a production problem." Craig Woodley, a pilot who owns Woodley Aerial Spray in Wilmot, Illinois, said, "It's a scary picture. There's definitely going to be a lot of lives affected." Recall about a week ago we wrote that farmers were expecting a corn crop far worse than USDA estimates. We wrote that farmers believed that already adjusted estimates for June were still going to be too optimistic. Our report checked in with corn farmer James McCune, who, when looking at the size of his diminutive corn crop this year, simply said, "Corn is not supposed to be this tall," He meant very short and almost non-existent. Now, in fact, we noted that conditions and morale are so poor in northwestern Illinois, McEwen organized a happy hour for about 125 farmers and others tied to the industry. They called it the Prevent Plant Part, a nod in jest to the unplanted acreage this season. McEwen said it's going to be a train wreck. Corn farmers face unprecedented headwinds this year, including record rain that has flooded the Midwest and stalled corn plantings. This has forced the U.S. Department of Agriculture to cut its harvest estimates in its June report. This is only the fourth time since the year 2000 that the government has taken such action in the month of June. McEwen says that the USDA's report won't even capture how bad this year's crop will be. Another farmer, Brian Schnecker, said, even though he was able to get his crop planted, it has been a huge battle. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.